Yes, hello, and welcome to our next installment in our series of programs on playing card games, Solitaire. You know, we have received really a wonderful reaction to our live double Solitaire match. We all know it's competitive. We all know that in some circles it's considered to be a blood sport, but the feedback has been just so positive. And I've got an item here from one of our subscribers that says, "Hey, card guy, that live match was awesome. I'd love to see another. Is there any way that you can arrange a rematch signed Player B?" Well, Player B, I think the answer is yes. So for all of you out there, I want to brace yourself. This is where Card Guy steps aside and allows two players to play double solitaire, a live rematch. Okay, well, let's go ahead and meet our players. So on your left, you have Player B. Player B is determined, is focused, and has a score to settle. Player D is calm, experienced, quite the worthy adversary. We'll begin by having our players create their tableaus, and as you know at home, 7 piles of cards, 1 card on your left, 7 cards on your right. Top cards are in play, so let's begin. Your job, as you know, is to build runs in a downward fashion using alternating colors. As you can see, we don't have any aces up just yet, so we're going to have to focus on our tableaus. A reminder about scoring: as many cards as you can graduate to the foundations wins. So work on your stockpile. Go through those cards and look for cards to play on the exposed cards in your tableaus. Again, deal them in threes. Build your runs using alternating colors in a downward fashion, a red 5 and a black 6, a red jack and a black queen, and so on. So you can see Player D is making some moves here, opening up a position. And again, those open positions can only be used, claimed by the king. And oh, right out of the gate, Player B has established the very first foundation, and the crowd loves that. So Player B is off to a nice start with 1 point on the board, so that's exciting. And play continues. Oh, look at this. Here comes another foundation for Player B. That's 2. Oh, and another one, and another card on top of the foundation, and yet another ace. My goodness. What a flurry of activity. Player B is off to a rocket of a start. 6 cards to 0 on Player D's side. Player D has got to be feeling this. And again, Player D is going to focus on filling that empty position there, looking for some opportunities in Player D's stockpile, dealing in threes, and building runs. So that was a flurry of activity. I will calm myself and let's resume the action here. Players continue to comb through their cards, dealing off 3 at a time from their packs, looking for opportunities to build runs, consolidate cards, open up positions, and again, free cards that can then be placed on your foundations. And that's how you win the game. So, oh, here comes more action with Player B. 2 more cards on the foundation, and finally D is out of the box with 2 points for D as well, bringing the score to 8-2. We've got a 6-point lead for B, and yet more activity from Player B, followed by D, followed by B, followed by D. The flurry of activity, folks, is astounding. The score is now 11-4 on this wild double solitaire match that has just come out of the gate ablazing. You can see a new foundation has been established. The second ace hearts is now in play and ready. Remember, you can play either foundation. Oh, and more activity from Player D, putting up those cards, bringing Player D's score up to 7. But Player B, I know, is not going to take that lightly. Ooh, another one from D. Player D's score is now up to 8, moving some cards onto that king, revealing another king. Looks like the score is 11 on B's side. Oh, but here comes more activity. Look at this. Look at this. All this activity going onto those foundations. These players are really playing with heart, and Player D has reduced the lead to only 1 card. This is a close match. This is a very close match, and you can see these 2 players are not letting up. Definitely both interested in... Oh, here comes another card from Player D. This is now a tied game, ladies and gentlemen. Both players at 12 points, both looking for opportunities. You can see that they're moving quickly here. building alternating color runs, moving cards on their tableaus, trying to get cards revealed and advanced up to their foundations. And again, that is the name of the game. So little pause here in the action as they kind of take stock and look over their stockpiles, looking at what's available, looking at all your top cards that are in play, dealing 3 cards out of your stockpile at a time to see what you can reveal and build. But here comes some action. Here's another foundation set up by D, and yet another foundation set up by D, and a third foundation. My goodness, all 8 foundations are now in place and ready, and player D is building upon them. And so player B has some work to do now. D is up to 16 to B's 12. Really took the lead in kind of a flurried fashion, and I know B is not going to take that lying down. Here comes a little hesitation there. Yes, another card on that foundation, bringing B's score up to 13. Only 3 points apart here, folks, between these two well-matched players. Play continues. We're going to look for, now if you know, look here, look at that 5 of spades here. I know that 5 of spades would receive that red 4 nicely, but unfortunately it was not noticed, but it will come up again. And now on player D's side, look at that 9 of clubs. Do you see where that 9 of clubs can go? Well, I have the benefit of being able to see that, but at the moment, again, another move. Sometimes things just, they evade your notice, and you're drawn to the foundations. You're looking at your opponents. Here comes that red 4 again. Now notice. Player B finally noticed. And in turn, look at that 9 of clubs. Will it get noticed? Is that a move that player D can make and increase score? Still hasn't caught player D's attention. That's okay. I have a feeling that it will. Player B continues to, oh, there goes that 9 of clubs as suspected, raising the score accordingly up to 17. We've got a 4-point game here. Player B can still do it. There's still an opportunity here to build on those foundations. Ooh, another card by player D, extending that lead here to 5-card lead. So player B is going to have to pull out some magic in order to catch up, and I think it can happen. So players kind of take a pause here to look over their tableaus, see what can be moved. Sometimes you look, frankly, at your opponent's tableaus. Is there something that your opponent could play, which would then usher in moves for you? So definitely look not only at your own tableau, but look at your players. And sometimes a little suggestion, a little nudge is not uncommon to get the game back up to full speed, as we're going to see here in a minute. So here comes a nice 2 of diamonds. But look here, now here comes player B with a 3 and a 4 to cut that lead down to 4. There's some action here. And these players are not giving up without a fight. That is for sure. Just a 4-point lead in player D's favor, and the play continues. Player B is looking through that stockpile, dealing in 3s. How about that 3 of spades, boy? You see those 2 of spades hiding out on those foundations, boy, wouldn't a 3 of spades really usher in a lot of activity? I see 4s and 5s all over the board, 6s, and I think that 3 of spades might just be buried. We just might not be able to get it. But that's okay. We're going to continue to look through that stockpile. We're hoping for some moves. Have you noticed anything? Have I noticed anything? I don't see anything left. Our players are going to do one final check here to see if there's anything left, and I think that just about does it. So another really exciting game of double solitaire. You can see just how competitive it is and how addictive it is. So first we're going to go ahead and clear away the table, and player D has offered to separate those cards into reds and blues and do the final count for our final score. And so you can see here, players are counting off their cards one by one, and it does appear that player B ends with 15, D with 19. Another win for player D. Boy, what an exciting match. Thank you so much, player B, for encouraging the rematch. Something tells me you're not done challenging player D. I hope to see you again. Player D walks away with another win. But hey, it was certainly fun to call the game, and hopefully fun for you to watch it as well. And hey, be sure to, join us again next time.